crazy. Live feed on? Okay.
You can take some extra time if you need it.
Okay. Welcome to the Freedom Truth Radio Show. This is your host, the one and only Vincent Scott. I'm live tonight on the Freedom Truth Radio Show, where the truth will make you mad first and then make you free. Apologize for our brief delay. We had some technical difficulties, but my guest is here live with me on the air, and we're going to get right into it. We're not going to waste any time. For those of you that know, try to give my guest ample time with everything with the broadcast so they can get into what they want to talk about. And I have on my broadcast tonight a very, very special guest. This man is a master astronumerologist. He is known around the world. He's been on the Oprah show. He's been on Good Morning America. He's been on Good Day New York. He's been on just about every platform that you could see him nationwide on daytime television, making worldwide predictions based on numerology. And for those of you that don't know, numerology is a very widely recognized science that has been used by the ancients because, as you know, people lie, but numbers don't. And numbers are known to calculate systems. They're known to create everything. Their numbers are very important. And so this man, Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn, is going to come on the show tonight and talk about his expertise in astronumerology, and he's going to blow your mind, and you're going to find out how important numbers really are. Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn, are you there?
Vincent, I am. Thank you for having me on. It is such an honor and a pleasure.
It's more than an honor and pleasure to have you on. I'm so glad you submitted to being on the radio show tonight. And I thank you for being a guest of the Freedom Truth Radio family. So we want you to go ahead and get right into it. You have the floor, and you are free to go into whatever you want to go into.
Okay, well, Vincent, the one thing you did say that I agree 1,000% that numerology is a science. You will have those that will say this, which is numerology and astrology, are pseudosciences, whatever that's supposed to mean. Mm-hmm. The definition of the scientific method is anytime you do the same thing over and over to get the same results, that is scientific. And that is how numbers work. And in fact, numbers are so much a part and parcel of our lives that we don't even think about it. But now that we're at the end of the day, this is what I challenge people, for those that don't believe in what I do with numbers. When you get up tomorrow, go from the time you get up throughout the entire day and go back to bed and don't use numbers. I defy you. Nobody can do it. If anybody can do it, I will give them $100. And what I'm saying is, I'm not talking about, well, Lloyd, I stayed in bed all day. No. I'm talking about right. Get your butt up. Do all the things you do. First of all, you can't look at your watch or your clock, because that's going to tell you what time it is in numbers. You can't call a friend. You can't receive a call, okay? Mm-hmm. You can't, if you live in an elevated building, you can't push the button, okay? You can't buy breakfast. You cannot do anything. You can't buy gas or anything. But numbers tell so much about people, and it all depends on the area of life you're in. For example, let's say a person is a dentist or dental assistant. Well, they will tell you that each tooth in your mouth has been assigned a number, which
That's
is
right.
why the dental assistants are able to find out which tooth the dentist is talking about. If you go to a doctor, they will do a series of tests such as your blood pressure, your cholesterol level, this, that, and the other. All of it is given back to them in numbers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're in tax season and people trying to get tax refunds. That number's going to really count. Do I owe or do they owe me? In numbers. And in fact, you can't buy a suit because you will have a suit size. You can't buy a shirt because you will have a size small, medium, or large, or neck size 15 and a half, 16, whatever the case is. A woman can't buy a dress because they come in different size numbers, okay? You can't do anything, man, nothing.
That's
and
right.
for an athlete, and especially Sunday like today, which is normally Sports Sunday, can you imagine turning on your TV, trying to watch a basketball game or a football game, and those guys are running around with no numbers on their jerseys, okay? And who's going to score, And for an athlete, one of the greatest compliments to them is to retire their number. And as long as that franchise exists, no other person coming into the league, the franchise, is allowed to wear that number. That is the greatest compliment. And I tell Vincent, suppose you met the most beautiful woman on the planet that knocked your socks off, okay? And you want to get to know her better, and you ask for her phone number.
That's it.
And she says, Vincent, just call any number, you'll get me. Well, brother, you be calling numbers to the cows come.
You'll never get her.
But if you dial the right 10 numbers,
That's right.
in the right order, you get the right person. So numbers are a guide. This is why it's scientific. And so the case with numerology. Numerology is actually older than astrology. When I first got into this game, I studied astrology. I was a shy Aquarian, all right? So I started reading about Aquarians, famous Aquarians, and, it started motivating me, bringing out my confidence, but realizing that almost anybody under any sign has gone through those issues.
Yes.
So that's led to the world of astrology. But then I came across numerology, and that was the first time I was able to say why this, supposedly, you got a fire sign, and then you got a water sign. Well, we know water is used to extinguish fire. But, for example, if you look at Jacqueline Bisset of Black Panther and her husband, Courtney Vance, he's a fire sign, he's a water sign. Well, they would say, well, that don't mix. However, Angela Bissett is a fire sign with a water number, and Courtney Vance is a water sign with a fire number.
Wow. So they balance each other out.
To see those exceptions to the rules in astrology. Not only that, but numerology began its origins in Africa. For example, when I was studying, in my enthusiasm and excitement, I'm doing all the research I could, and they would say Pythagoras is the father of numerology.
Right.
Well, when I go to study about Pythagoras, guess where he went to learn numerology?
Kemet.
He went into the continent of Africa or Egypt.
That's
Kemet,
right.
call it what you will. I'm saying, how this guy going to be the father of something he studied somewhere else?
Right.
And I just said, after that, I'm going to be the baddest brother on the planet. Not with ego, but to reclaim that which is rightfully ours.
Right.
And if you look at Egypt, the beauty of Egypt, the pyramids, is the Pyramid of Giza is built at the exact center of the earth. You do not build anything at the exact center of the earth without having some mathematical knowledge. Then you got the Dogon people in Africa, where they talked about the Dogon, the Sirius star. In fact, there's an excellent book called The Serious Mystery,
Mm-hmm.
and explains these people in Africa knew about the Sirius star. They knew the distance, the circumference, the weight. They even knew there was a smaller Sirius B, a smaller, more denser planet that hovered around it. So naturally, when white people would come through, they would say, oh, the missionaries taught you. In other words, everybody taught them except the brothers getting the credit themselves.
Right.
And if you look at a picture of those brothers out of Dogon, they look just like brothers on 125th Street, brothers along Broad Street in Newark, okay? I mean, you know what I'm saying? But they knew these things. How did they know? Don't know. And to this day, for example, they still haven't figured out how tons of blocks, each block weighed tons, how would they move? How would they put in place? But more importantly, how were they built with mathematical precision that work in conjunction with the cycle of the seasons? Okay? Benjamin Banneker, a Scorpio that actually finished constructing the layout of the city of Washington, D.C., was believed to have come from the Dogon tribe. So that made sense to me. Okay? So what I'm saying is these things are very ancient, but what I do, because we're now in a world of media and this, that, and the other, I make it very entertaining. But in this entertainment, I am dead serious that you cannot do anything without these numbers. They'll tell you what now? Don't give out your Social Security number.
Right.
If you notice, inquiring, they only ask for the last 4 digits of your number. Okay? And they confirm everything by your birthday. So there's nothing you can do without numbers. So imagine a world where, in fact, the telephone company, if numbers didn't exist, would go out of business because their whole premise is on selling a phone number.
Wow.
Okay? So when you look at that, everybody's got to come my way. And the beautiful part about it is no matter what part of the human family you come from, no matter what part of the world you come from, if you were born on this planet Earth, I've got your number. Just that simple.
That's it.
I don't care. Look like me, whatever, whether you can speak the same language. If you're born on some month, some day, some year, I got you. And these numbers help guide us. And what I'd like to do is give demonstrations. I would like to use you as a guide,
Okay.
not to put all your business in the
No,
street,
no,
but
it's fine.
your staff people and whatnot like that.
Mm-hmm.
So and let's start with you, Vincent. What month and day are you born? I don't need the year.
Born January 3rd.
Okay. So astrologically, you are a Capricorn.
Right.
But most people don't know until I come on the scene. You are a Capricorn 3 person like Jeff Bezos. He's a
Okay.
Capricorn.
Jeff Bezos. Oh, I like the footsteps he's in already.
Yeah. LeBron James is a Capricorn 3.
Okay.
Okay. A brother that's coming back into his own, Tiger Woods, coming back because they said he's now taking the lead in this sports golf tournament or something like that. He's a Capricorn 3. Okay. So you got other Capricorns, like you have Muhammad Ali, who's a Capricorn, but he was born on the 17th, the same day as Michelle Obama. So he's
Got
a
it.
Capricorn, but Capricorn 8 because 1 + 7 is 8.
Right. Okay.
And you are a 3. Now, 3 indicates, because each number has a nature, it tells me, first of all, Vincent, you don't look your age, okay?
Okay.
3 people by their nature are very creative. They're very ambitious. They always want to succeed, okay? In fact, Rush Lombard and Howard Stern are some of the 2 wealthiest guys. They are also Capricorn 3s like you.
Wow.
So the point is that you have all the possibilities of being very well off successfully, financially at some point in life. Capricorns are late bloomers. In other words, things start turning around for you between your 33rd and 35th birthday. I don't know how old you are. I never did ask you. It don't matter. But I know this, that if you are not 30s yet, you will be. And if you're past 30, you will probably say that, yes, somewhere around 33, between 33 and 35, I started getting it together. Things started sorting itself out, and I start having a sense of direction of which way I'm going.
Mm.
Also tells me from this birthday you've had 4 types of relationships to date, Vincent. That is older women, younger women, women from cultures, because you're kind of international dude, okay?
Okay.
And a long-distance relationship where you're over here, she's over there. You're in this city, they're in that city. And by the way, you should learn a second language. It also tells me you're extremely popular and well-liked with people, especially children, young adults, babies, animals. So if you've owned pets, it wouldn't surprise me at all. The one thing I love about your birthday is that you always wanted to make something of yourself. And your birthday also tells me you were out on your own between your 19th and 22nd birthday. Whether you left home on your own, go to college, left to say, like, Mom, Dad, I love you, but I got to get out of here.
Yep.
I got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
So, all these things guide you, and I was just amazed how much numbers, along with astrology, reveals about a person that I don't even know. And I can tell you that some years in your past was very important. I'll go back as far as 1997, then 2001, then 2004, then 2006, then 2010, then 2013, then 2015, and the next big one is going to come up in the year 2019. And if you look at those years I named, in one of those years, you probably made a move, started a radio station, hooked up with your boo, you know, got your place, got your car, you know.
Well, I'll give you a good one. 2001 is the year I got married.
See, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And notice, not knowing you, but if you add 2001, that adds to a 3, and you both know the 3rd.
Wow.
So
and guess what? My wife is an Aquarius 3. She's the 30th.
There you go.
Yeah.
And in fact, your key numbers are the 3, 8, and 6. What does that mean? Each number is assigned a day. 3 is assigned to Thursday. I'll tell you why that's most significant. 8 is assigned to Saturday, and 6 is assigned to Friday. Thus, your best days are always late Wednesday night into Thursday, Thursday into Friday, Friday into Saturday. So if you ever look forward to the weekend, buddy, right after hump day, that makes all the sense in the world to me.
Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
And so when I say these are your days to set up interviews, set up appointments, take tests, go into the hospital for procedures, but anything significant that you want with consequences on the other end of those decisions, any day just won't do. Thursday, then Saturday, then Friday. And it's interesting because if you talk to brothers from Africa, they will tell you that Thursday is always the safest day to travel. Okay? In fact, if you look at the U.S. commercial airlines in the United States, and when I say commercial, that means with passengers on board, there has never, I repeat, there has never been an airplane crash in the United States with passengers on board on a Thursday.
No,
so
that's right.
I fly on a Thursday. The only incident of which there was a crash that occurred on a Thursday was on January the 15th, several years ago. This guy named Sully.
Yes,
he landed
in Hudson River. Yes.
Everybody got out of there. Everybody.
That's
crew,
true.
Passengers, everything. All right? So I still fly on a Thursday. That is the safest day for me to fly.
Wow.
In fact, I wrote it in my book, Numbers in You. So there's so much to this, and it's so fascinating. Did you know, out of the 200 and something odd years of U.S. history, not one president of the United States has ever died in the month of May? Now, I tell people, don't take my word
Never in the month of May?
No president has ever died in the month of May.
That's amazing.
All the other months, January, February, you name it, a lot of them, June and July, but not one president has ever died in the month of May. Now, and see, the beauty of us of color is don't take my word for it. Do the research yourself, because that's what I had to do.
Right.
No president has ever died on the 7th of any month, the 16th of any month, or the 25th of any month. So if a president came to me and said, listen, Stray, I want to walk among my voters, my people, me and my lady walking down the street of in Washington, D.C., you know what I'm saying? I tell them to pick either May 7th, May 16th, or May 25th.
Wow.
Because ever died in May.
Never died in
And then
May.
there's other things. I mean, it is so fascinating these days with numerology. And I've been doing this forever, and no matter who I meet, I can always reveal something about them that I didn't know. So you said you got married in 2001.
Yeah, and in 2019, I turned 44.
That's extremely significant to me because 4 plus 4 is 8. That's
Yes,
the number.
yes,
So I
yes.
can tell you did this. And going back in a flashback, I can tell you that the ages were very important to you as a kid was age 12, age 15, age 17,
Yep.
age 21, 24, 26, and age 30, 33, 35, then 39, 42, 44, then 48, 51, 53, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow.
This is the most fascinating thing, man.
That is.
So if you wrote down your months, and by the way, here are your months. Your best months are January, March and May, October and December. So, for example, your Mrs. is born on a 3 like you. Well, 3 rules the month of March and December. So if you are celebrating your wedding anniversary that goes from late February into March, late November into December, or that you got married and that you
September.
got married
We got married September. September 29th.
Oh, okay, that's the period of late September into October. So when I name these months, you must allow the last 7 days. So it's late December into January, late February, March, late April into May, late September into October, and late November into December. By the way, and since you got a pen, these are your numbers. Your numbers are the 3, 8, and 6. Mrs. numbers born on January the 30th are the 3, 4, and 1. Question: do you have children?
Yes, I have 4.
Great.
They're you want to know their ages or birth dates?
Yes, because that's why I want you to write down your numbers and then write business numbers, because I can tell you which of the 4 children will look more like you or look more like their mom.
Okay. Well, I
Child
have
1, boy or girl?
Girl.
What's her birthday?
6/12.
Well, her numbers, she's 6/12. Her numbers are the 3, 5, and 6. So if you look at your numbers, which is the 3, 8, and 6, she's got 2 of your numbers, and she only has 1 of her mother's numbers.
Okay.
Say there would be something where she would lean more towards you, or like when Mommy, Mrs. get upset, she said, "Girl, you just like your daddy," whatever that's for. Okay.
Okay.
What about your sex? Oh, by the way, this born on June the 12th.
Yes.
She's born the same day as famous international celeb Josephine Baker. And in fact, it was Josephine Baker that mended the relationship between the United States and France.
Wow. That's amazing.
So they want to talk about the bananas around her hip and stuff, and her dancing with no bra on. But she did much more than that.
Yes.
And it was because of her
they never talk
popularity.
about that.
Huh?
They never talk about that. It's interesting.
Well, when it comes to color, we're not giving those kinds of credit.
Yes.
We're giving credit if I shoot you, okay? We will get credit if I'm selling drugs to you, okay? Or as long as it's antisocial, negative, yes, we will get credit. But even when people see my 400-page book and they find out I wrote it, they're surprised that I wrote it, as if we don't have the capacity to write a quality in-depth subject, such as numerology.
Yeah.
So, but those things like that, we're not giving credit. But anyway, and so with this daughter, that tells me she's very popular, very well liked. She may have bugged you about a pet or animal, very ambitious, very creative, and always got something to say, this little lady.
Always got something to say. Always.
What about second child?
Second child is my son, my only son. He's 728. His
numbers are the 1, 4, 9. He has more of his mother's numbers. Because your the wife's numbers are the 9 of the 3, 4, and 1.
Right.
Now, this young man has sensitive eyes to bright sunlight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This young man is a born leader, and more than likely he will want to grow up to be a doctor or a lawyer or a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to run his own business. I don't know how old he is, but more than likely he will be an old lady that will introduce him to Sex 101 as he's coming up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably ain't going to tell his mama, but he'll probably tell you, okay?
Well, he's 18 now, so he's looking towards probably starting a business when he gets out of high school or something. Not sure.
But I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because he's born to win.
Okay.
Everything about him indicates he has leadership abilities from top to bottom.
Mm.
So the only thing that may bother him from time to time is his eyes, sensitivities with the eyes, heart palpitations, irregular blood circulation, things like that.
Amazing.
Okay?
Spot on.
Then what about your third child?
Third child, because the rest is girls. So my third child is daughter 331.
Her numbers are the 4, 1, and 9. She got 2 of her other mother's numbers. Of all the children, this is the one that's different.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's that the way she does things, she's not as popular as the first 2 set.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got her own way, and she likes to stay under the radar. But she is a genius, especially when it comes to the mathematical, mechanical sciences.
Number one subject.
Technologies, things like that. She's really brilliant.
Yeah.
She's born the same day as one of my idols, Jack Johnson, which is the first African-American heavyweight champion of the world.
Yes.
She was born on that day. Okay? So, and then she's an Aries, too. So that's, but she, like your son, is also born to lead, but she's going to have her own unique way and style of how she does it. And she's very sensitive, high-strung, easy wounded in her feelings, but she is a brilliant, brilliant young lady.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The last daughter, man, you ain't got a chance with all them women.
I know, I don't. My last daughter, now this one right here, I can't wait to hear about this one. This is, she's 9'4". This is my last one.
Oh, she's born the same day as Beyonce.
Yep, that's right.
Her numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. So 3 of your children have their mother's numbers. Your wife's numbers again are 3, 4, and 1.
Right.
So your son is born July 28th. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. His numbers are the 1, 4, and 9. Then your second daughter is born on March the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
And her numbers are the 4, 1, and 9. So your second child and your third child have the same identical numbers. They're both fire. I would expect them to both be very tight, very close.
Yes.
They're all not close, but there's something between these two. You say, like, they can get together and have some conversation.
Right.
The one that's also born on September the 4th, her numbers are the 4, 1, and 5. So 3 of them have the mother's numbers, which mean they either look like her, act like her, think like her, walk like her. They may have your looks, but have all the dispositions and sentimentalities of the mother.
Yeah.
Okay? But this one, September the 4th, she is an old soul.
Oh,
and in
very
fact,
much so.
The youngest, but she told the older brothers and sisters, you know what mommy's talking about. You know what daddy's trying to
We
tell
all call
you.
her grandma. She's only 13. She wants to she want to boss me around.
Yeah, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. She is an old soul.
Okay.
That's why I'm telling you. If you talk to the other kids and they don't seem to get it, she will interpret it for you. Well, you know what mommy's trying to say. So and so and so and so and so and so. And she would be like the second daughter born on March the 31st, where she too would have gifts along the mechanical, mathematical lines, computers, technology, engineering, things of that nature. And both the one that's born March the 31st and the one that's born, the last one born September the 4th, these are the 2 children that like to be different than the rest of the brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody's doing it one way, they're going to want to do it another way.
Yep.
This is how they think. This is how they roll. So, and then see, there's a whole lot of other things. So, for example, what is the house number where you live? I don't need the county, the borough, the street. When you go home tonight, what is your house number or building number you walk into?
You're going to like this. 13132.
13132.
Yes.
Okay, 13132. So this house adds up to a 10. So
Mhm.
it tells me about this home where you and your family reside, that one is likely to have a nice-sized living room, very spacious.
Yep, it does.
Two, if you got multiple rooms and having children, I got 6 of them, so you know you got to have more than one
Yes.
bedroom up there, okay? So it tells me in the master bedroom where you and the missus sleep, you'll probably have a half bath or kind of a full bath in a miniature version.
Yep.
If you don't have a bathroom in the master bedroom, the bathroom is literally steps away from the master bedroom to the bathroom itself.
Wow.
Not only that, but the major hallmark is this, that when you get up in the morning and it's a bright sunny day, you technically don't have to turn on any lights until it's almost dusk.
That's it.
So therefore, you might have skylights, whatever the case is, but it breathes light.
Mhm. Mhm.
By the way, your best months are January, March, May, October, and December. With the Mrs., hers is February, March, August, and December.
Okay.
What month you'll move there at 13132? Do you remember the month y'all moved there?
July.
July. Was it early, middle, or late?
Early. July 7th.
Okay. If you own a car, what year is the car?
2015.
Well, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 5 is 8. That's one of your numbers. What
Yes.
month did you buy the car?
Actually, we got it. Was it January, or it was either January or February of 2016.
Well, because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
January is your month. February is her month.
Her month, yeah.
If you look at things, when you started the radio station, they had been in those months.
Mm-hmm.
The address of where you operate out of may have been a number that adds up to a 3, 8, or 6.
Mm-hmm.
So there it goes, man. That's what I'm saying. The world would be so boring, but because numbers are so part and parcel of what we do,
Yes.
we take it for granted. Now, there are some people, Vincent, that might see numbers all the time. They'll say, you know what? Every time I look at my clock, the number says 12:04 or 11:11.
My wife
or
is
whatever.
like that. She,
Yeah, but those, what does your wife do?
she's the nurse.
Okay, no. You said something about the numbers. There's some she sees numbers.
No, she like numbers really. They stick out to her. Like if she sees a number at a certain time, like 12:44 or 1:44, whatever, like she'll capture that and like it'll go through her mind. Like she's wondering what's significant about that number. I told her she's got to meet you and get your book because she would be perfect for somebody that needs to study numerology.
All the missus got to do is call me. It only take a second to get in her business because I'm nosy. Trust me. Nosy's being one of them.
Okay.
Because numbers when a person sees a number or series of numbers, these are referred to now as angel numbers. These numbers act as guides. So let's say if she saw that number, 1244, let's say theoretically,
right,
it means that no is the answer to the question. It means that subconsciously she may be thinking about making a change around the home.
Mm-hmm.
There's a change at the workplace and a change in some of the relationships you have, like her sister ain't talked to her for a minute, now they're at peace and made up and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Little things like that. It also indicates that if she was thinking of this number in theory, because it's, you're trying to call it off the top, that she might be thinking about changing her diet or the eating habits for the children and things like that,
Yeah.
So numbers tell a lot. These man, I thought I would retire. There is no such
You
thing.
can. You could do this for a lifetime. I mean, it's so much.
And listen, I am never going to retire as long as I live and breathe. And then I'm nosy too, Vincent.
Now, you said you're an Aquarius?
Yes, I'm born on February the 16th.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So where your business is at the beginning stages of Aquarius, I'm near the tail end of Aquarius. But numbers guide you, and then there's what is called the personal year. And see, you're in a year where you're going to make some money, and also you're going to be doing something with your residence where you live at this address. Because you either be moving out of a home, moving into a home, rearranging where you presently live in, taking out a second mortgage, or whatever the case is. And in fact, a lot of things started breaking for you, and you could sense the light of day, because the last 2 years before then, of 2017 and 2016 especially, were challenging to you.
Yep.
But it was 2017 that offered a turning point in your life. But then it was in October of last year coming into this year where you decided, okay, I really got it together. Let me go back to school or enroll in some kind of workshop or seminar or retreat or something to make yourself better, add more assets to your asset column. You may have decided, well, like, damn, you know, I need to kind of like tone up, get in the gym. You know, you don't have to go hard, but, you know, just to make sure you're in good health and good shape, living right for your kids and stuff like that. You are also in a pregnancy cycle too, my friend. Now, with 4 children, I know you probably ain't adding the number 5, but what it means is symbolic that you might birth to an idea, birth to a project, birth to another dimension or concept to your radio show. You see what I'm saying? Freedom Truth Radio. Okay? So it's all kinds of things like that. And by the way, there's going to be some form of compensation coming your way. So let's say within the last year or two, you went into an arrangement or bargain with some guys or some people, and they didn't hold up their end of the bargain. Well, the law of compensation is going to come and make up for it this year. All right, so this is not only a relationship cycle. So you might do something special with your boo, man. You know, you say, listen, honey, we've been together since 2001. We have 4 beautiful children. You make the most beautiful girls on the planet. Because you can't tell me my 3 girls ain't beautiful, so I know how you roll it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So, you know, maybe, honey, we need to go somewhere, Bahamas, leave the kids a bit, then out they little grown and leave with the grandparents and stuff like that. But those are things you might be doing, too. You're likely to also get some kind of award or recognition for a job well done. So this is going to be a good year for you, like it was, in fact, in 2009. Because if you can remember that year, in the fall of 2008, when President Obama was just running for the election, and he won the election that following month on November the 4th of 2008, okay? Then in the 2009, when he was sworn in that year, you did well. You did well, okay? So everything goes in cycles, man. You know, like March Madness cycles coming up.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. And I don't care who it is. Numbers guide us in ways that make us intelligent, that you see that there is divine order in the scheme of things. So even though man acts the fool, this is why this earth will not spin off its axis and out into space, although we're already in space. So I think it's interesting when they said they're sending a rocket into space. Well, the earth is already in space.
It's already in space, right.
You know, we're on this planet, but we're already in space. So go figure. We just learning how to hop from one rock to another rock. That's really all we do, okay?
And Lloyd, let me ask you a question. Just because you're so deep into this understanding of numerology, do you ever hear people saying things or making seemingly outlandish predictions about things, and because of the way you know numbers, you know that what they're saying can't be possible?
Well, yes. For example, you know what's interesting? Man has always predicted the end of time.
Right.
About 4 or 5 years ago, in December of that year, I forgot which one in particular, but it was in the last 4 or 5 years, there was a guy predicting that the world was going to come to an end. In fact, I understand the dude made a lot of money, you know, projecting that image.
Yeah.
And any time I hear that, I know that the world will, listen, the world will swallow us up. The world will swallow up mankind before it destroys itself. So these guys talking about the nuclear bombs and all this stuff, Mother Nature swallow everything up, man.
Yeah.
Mother will send locusts.
That's
They'll
true.
send all kinds
I believe
of things
that.
you ain't even think about, brother. You know, and one of the claims that's outrageous I hear too is from 3 religious bodies that what I do goes against the laws of God. Okay, what they don't know is I went to a seminary school. I was going to be a minister, actually.
Okay.
I was coming up as a kid. I would sleep with a Bible under my pillow. I was an altar boy, you know, all that stuff. And then I went to seminary school. But when I went to seminary school, they were raising more sand chasing the skirts than I was before I left down there. Okay? I says, well, what I'm going to do is I'm still going to do God's work, but in a more metaphysical
Understand.
way.
Yes, yes.
You know? And that's what led me to this. But born-again Christians, Jehovah Witnesses, and Seventh-day Adventists, I don't mean to offend anybody, but
Sure.
these are the three groups that tend to have problems with my work. Yes, if I talk to them about, well, name me a war fought in the name of a zodiac sign.
Right.
They can't.
They can't do it.
They can't. Name me a war fought in the name of the number 3. Okay? They can't give me one. But most of these wars are religious in nature. You know, the Muslims and the Hindus, Israel and the Palestinians,
Yes.
Irish and Catholics, you know what I'm saying, in Ireland. So it's all kind of related to God. But then when I go to tell these religious groups that, well, if you go, and then they get insulted when I say the Bible is a numerology book.
It really is. It's numbers all through it.
It is. How can you go to the respective chapter and verse without numbers?
That's right.
So if I say go to Psalm 21, chapter 2, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to do it. But I tell them if they look in the Old Testament, the 4th book of Moses is called the Book of Numbers.
That's
and
right.
I told them I didn't write the Bible. Okay?
Right.
Where God instructs Moses on the 2nd day of the 2nd month to name the armies by their name and their poll. Now, the Nation of Islam used to talk about the 12 tribes of Israel. We're from the tribe of Shabazz.
That's right.
But if you go into that Old Testament, the 4th book of Moses, and go further into the 4th book of Moses, all 12 tribes are given numbers by God.
Yes, they are.
He's very about all the numbers. Then you go to the tail end of the Bible under the New Testament of Revelation, they will say, this is the mark of the beast, it is the mark of man, and his number is 666. However, if you go further down the rabbit hole in the New Testament of Revelation, the number of Christ is more symbolic, which is always 8, 8,
yes,
8.
That's right.
So that's all I'm saying. And then they get upset with me. I don't get it.
And it's right there in front of their face, but they don't want to accept it.
Yeah, but you see, I put the Bible in a proper perspective because this same Bible was also used to justify our enslavement during this cruel period of slavery.
Yeah.
Okay? So I understand the good book, and I keep it in perspective. I respect it, but it can be anything like a car could be used to rob a bank.
That's
okay?
true.
The Bible was misused to justify enslavement of millions of our people, man. So, and it's in that sense of how I look at it, and it's nothing bad.
No,
it's just
not
it's
at all.
just about. All right, so these are the things, and I mean I can go on and on. For example, thanks for letting me run my mouth.
Just listen. We're gonna have you on again. This is amazing. Because I want to wake people up to the whole scientific approach of how to understand numbers. Because as you said in the beginning of the show, a lot of people look at this as a pseudoscience, and it's not. It's by no means a pseudoscience.
It's an exact science, my brother. An exact science.
And it's consistent.
What are the? There's something I forgot the technical name, but when numbers are reversed. For example, Anwar Sadat, the former president of Egypt, was born in 1918, but in 1981. He was assassinated at the Egyptian airport. All I did was flip 18 around and made it 1981.
Yes.
Marilyn Monroe was born in 1926 but died mysteriously in 1962.
Yes.
Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated in 1948, and Indira Gandhi was assassinated in 1984.
84. Wow.
Remember the book, The Big Brother book, 1984?
Yeah.
Well, that was written in 1948.
Isn't that something?
Just flipping it around. And one last thing. Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated in 1968. This year will make 50 years of that anniversary next month on the 4th. But if you flip 1968 around and make it 1986, his name became a national holiday.
Yes, it did. That's right.
And the president that did it was George W. Bush. Not George W. Bush, Ronald Wilson Reagan, who himself was born on the 6th.
Amazing.
And in fact, his wife, Nancy Reagan, was born on the 6th.
Okay.
And he won the presidency on November the 4th of 1980. He was in a 6th universal day. 69 years old. 6 plus 9 is 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6.
Wow.
Ronald, 6 letters. Wilson, 6 letters. Reagan, 6 letters. Thus, 6, 6,
6, 6. Yes.
Okay? So little like that. Did you know he was the 33rd governor of California, which is 6?
No, I didn't
Did you
know
know
that.
he went to Eureka College, 6 letters?
Yes.
And his jersey was 33, a 6. I mean,
see, you know,
brother,
this stuff is, you know, not only can you not make it up, but this shows me that there's been a lot of planning. The higher ups and the elites, they know this science and they use it
yes, they do.
to make
yes,
plans,
they do,
major
buddy.
plans.
Yes, they do. But they want the masses just to get the little abbreviated version that comes in the early newspaper. Okay?
Yeah.
But I suggest to anybody that they should seek out a professional astrologer and or numerologist to guide them, because there's more to you than just what's in the newspaper. That's why every Aries sitting there reading it ain't going to apply to them, because you got Aries born from March all the way through April.
Absolutely.
And you got them born from the 1st up until the 9th. So there's all kinds of variations that you need. But, I mean, there's so many things in history and with numbers that I see that's why my attitude is, that's why I stand very comfortable in my own skin, and I stand very much in my truth, that this is the joint, no question.
Well, you're an Aquarius, so you're a fixed sign anyway. So you, like my wife, you're not moving.
When I met Minister Louis Farrakhan, he explained that what I do is called supreme mathematics. That is,
yes,
and in fact, the universal language is mathematics.
It really is.
And so when people get in their cars and their GPS, all they're doing is they're looking at the longitude and the latitude of where they wish to go.
That's right.
Call it the GPS. This is why when you go to an astrologer, you must give them numerical information. That's why I was saying at the top of the show, I can't believe 50 minutes is going by. I'm so busy running my mouth. But you know, they will say that, I lost my thought just for half a second. But
about the birth chart.
Yeah, the birth chart. Thank you, which is why I said numerology came first.
Yes.
Go to an astrologer, you must give them birthday information.
Right.
The number of the month you were born, the number of the day you were born, the number of the year you were born. But more important to an astrologer that will drive them crazy is the time you were born and where you were born, so they can figure out the longitude and the latitude.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I just call it GPS. That's all it's doing. You punch in an address or destination or city or town or state, and it will take you right there. The GPS is doing it because they configured the longitude and the latitude of where things are positioned in the heavens. I mean, this thing is great. This is great. And in fact, to give you an example of the beauty of numbers and our origin, that if you saw the movie that came out a year before last, Hidden Figures.
Yeah, yes. That was a beautiful movie.
Where the women were described as computers, which means they were using their brains. And in fact, Katherine Johnson, who was born on the 26th of August, that made the decision for John Glenn to go into space. John Glenn wasn't going into space without her go. Okay? Although they ran the computers, he wanted to see what she said. Okay? And once she gave the go, he went into space, and the rest is history. She also calculated how to land on the moon. She also calculated how to get man back from space. So we
That's
are
right.
the most dynamic people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, for some reason, it's misinterpreted as that, well, we hate white people. Excuse
No,
me?
not at all.
They ain't no hate come out of my mouth, man.
Not at all.
I'm just giving credit and homage to who we are.
That's right.
Okay? That's all I'm saying to you, brother. That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
And so this thing of the Black Panther movie, it doesn't surprise me that it broke all kind of records. We are the original man,
Mm-hmm.
okay? The oldest human being was still found on the African continent, the Kenneficus, a woman of all things, okay?
Yes.
So all I'm saying is that so my thing is to reclaim that which is ours.
Right.
And so Herodotus, Plato, Thucydides, all of these cats got up and left Greek and Rome to come into Egypt to study on the African continent, okay? And by the way, the Europeans was trying to actually excise Egypt and move it over to Europe until a Capricorn historian named Dr. Diop was the one to settle all of that forever. And did you know, speaking of Capricorn, since we started with the show Capricorn Greatness,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that all of the black historians are Capricorns. Dr. Ben Yekinen,
Yes.
Dr. John Hope, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima,
All
Dr.
Capricorns?
John Clark, Dr. Diop, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, all Capricorns, man.
Yeah. And Dr. Phil Valentine, too. He's Capricorn as well.
Well, no, he's a Libra. He's a Libra. He's born September the 25th.
I don't know why I thought he was born January.
No, but he has the wisdom of the ancients like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the
But
majority of the heavyweight
yes.
historians, black historians, are all, without exception, Capricorns, man.
That's amazing because
Okay.
I have a love for history like that.
Well, because it is ruled by Saturn, which rules for all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All of this makes sense. For example, I will tell people that the New York Stock Exchange was founded on May 17th in the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
If one was to look at the astrological component of May 17th, it is the sign of Taurus,
Right.
okay? When the stock market is doing well, don't they say the stock market is bullish?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Well, what is the symbol of their sign? A bull.
Taurus.
And
Yeah.
in fact, for those that go down to Wall Street, they got a big old bull down there,
Yes,
buddy.
they do.
Okay?
Sitting right in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah. If you were to go to 60 Center Street in Midtown Manhattan, downtown Manhattan, rather,
Mm-hmm.
if you go on the 60 Center Street, once you go past the long line and after you got to take off your pants and all that other stuff to go into the building, as soon as
Right.
you walk into the middle of the rotunda, there's a circular of figurines of horoscope symbols from
Yes, it
Aries
is.
to Pisces.
Yeah.
But I took pictures because I said, people may not believe me. So when I went in there, I took pictures of all the signs up in there,
Mm-hmm.
right there. Okay. Then when you look at the cars back in the 80s, 90s, the Taurus, the Aries K. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
they sent the Apollo, the Gemini, then
Mhm.
the Aquarius ship. Oh, listen. Okay. And so but I mean, it's almost right in your face.
It really is.
We don't have it. We're just not aware of it. We just haven't been woken up to it. But that's my job.
Yeah. Well, you're doing an excellent job of it, Brother Lloyd, because otherwise I don't think we'd be awakened that much to it. And also, they wouldn't be calling you to make yearly predictions on Good Morning America. So,
Yeah, and I do make predictions.
Yeah.
And in fact, one prediction I made in July of last year,
mm-hmm.
some people got me because I was swearing up and down that Hillary Clinton would win the election.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, she did. She won the popular vote.
Yes, you did.
But to credit of the reporter interviewing me, he says, well, what would happen should Donald Trump win? And all they got to do is go to YouTube, and
Yes.
here it is called Clinton-Trump 2016 predictions by Strayhorn.
I
You will
remember
hear it.
when you did that because you predicted it to a T. You said that if Donald Trump were to win, there would be major scandal that comes out in the first 60 days of his
That's right.
being
I
in
said he
office.
would enter the presidency. The first thing I said was it would indicate that this nation has lost its moral
Yes.
compass.
Yep.
And in fact, on the very week he was sworn in, they wanted to dismantle the ethics committee.
They sure
of all
did.
things. Okay?
Yeah.
So what? So I said that he went into the presidency under a cloud of scandals
You
and
sure did.
lawsuits.
I remember
And
you said
brother,
that.
it ain't been scandals and lawsuits. So people will call me to say I was wrong about Hillary, but very few people want to give me my props and say, but I was
No,
spot
but you
on.
gave it on both sides.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so it goes like that. But the beauty of us being of color, we can't do this. Now, had Barack Obama been the president lying as many times as and they know he's a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he would have still been running a year?
Yes.
Had most of his team, most of his administrative staff had some ties to Russia?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they would have not impeached that man by now?
Of course they
So
would.
it is such an obvious double standard. And
Yeah.
I'm not, and so people will get upset. Oh, they're talking about white people. I'm just saying this is a situation that these folks have created.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
The numbers don't have a color, so.
Yeah, exactly. And the only unfair part is that we, people of color, suffer from the neurosis of people that's got this.
Mm-hmm.
If you are superior, you don't have to block a person's blessings. Okay?
That's true.
Don't have to set up systematically. They just, about 2 weeks ago, systematically that the banks discourage black people to own homes.
Yes.
Well, if you're lazy and shiftless and inferior and all of that, you guys should just get out the way and let us just trip all over ourselves, okay? But
That's
that
true.
ain't happening.
No.
They put roadblocks, they put laws, they put this, that, and the other. And when they talk about race, we playing the race card. We did not come up with that word, man.
No,
we did not
we
come
didn't.
up with that concept. So for all of us, I try to tell my children, and especially we of color, we either do our own thinking, you either think for yourself, or somebody
do
will
it
think
for
for
you.
you.
That's the truth. That's
And
very true.
unfortunately, a lot of our senses are dead. And the things we see on television, the things we hear, we take it as gospel.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell people, don't take my word for it about all presidents dying except in the month of May. Do the research,
Do the research.
yourself.
You can find out for yourself. There's records all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the beauty of who we are, that
Mhm.
we have to come from the side of truth. We
Yeah.
we could not get away with none of the things Donald Trump has gotten away with.
No.
Talking bad, or mocking people. Do you think had President Obama been running for the presidency
Listen,
in
they would have got him out of there so fast.
Yeah, man, he wouldn't have got the first base.
No,
He wouldn't have got the first base, man.
it's true.
So, but it shows you there is a double standard. It is
Mhm.
not our creation, Vincent.
No.
Okay? So don't look at me, guys. Don't be hating on me.
You're just a
All right?
reporter, right?
Yeah. These are some of the things they have to deal with themselves. And one of the best cures is to admit or own, like an addiction,
Mm-hmm.
to admit that you have an addiction. To admit, yes, that by nature there is a racist attitude.
Yeah.
There's a sense of superiority, but I'm saying if you're so superior, you don't have to block those that are inferior. To me,
That's true. That's very true.
just the inferiority will automatically block ourselves. Okay? But all kind of roadblocks, all kinds of things. I remember looking at the situation of the biopic of Dorothy Dandridge, played by Halle Berry. By the way,
Yes.
they were both born in the same hospital. And there was a scene
Oh,
where
my
she went
goodness.
into the pool, and they drained and cleaned the whole pool. How silly! How
That
silly
is
of them.
silliness.
How silly. So other folks got a lot of growing up to do, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all I'm.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's enough of my soapbox thing,
That's-
man.
that's amazing.
I can't speak to you enough. And yeah, let me know when you want me back. okay?
Absolutely.
And
We're
we'll take
definitely
some
gonna have you
phone
back
calls.
on. Yeah. You know what? I gotta ask you, just for the sake of my cousin, because he was trying to call in. He was born July 17th, 1970.
He is born the same day as John D. Rockefeller.
Wow.
17 is called the money number.
Mm.
Compound number 17 is called the number of immortality and the power of financial success. John D. Rockefeller was born on that day, July 17th. J.P. Morgan, the famous financier who died in 1913 in March of that year, his name still resides. He was born on April the 17th. If you talk to, or if you look at the history of Muhammad Ali, who was born on the 17th of January, until he came along, boxers were getting paid to beat up on each other for just a couple of $100.
Mm-hmm.
When he came on the scene, then they start paying millions of dollars, okay? So then you got a guy now like Floyd Weather that gets about 100 and something million.
That's
okay?
right.
He needs to send some money to the Muhammad Ali Foundation or charity, because if it was not for him, boxers wouldn't have got paid that kind of money.
That's right.
Then you got a person, what's the guy that sells the retro every day? The basketball guy. Every week he sells it.
Oh my God, I know who you're talking about.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's been out the game for decades himself, but his retro sneakers still sell. He's born on February the 17th. Those people that are born on the 17th tend to be generators of money, huge amounts of money. This so tells me with your brother, or your cousin rather, because he's so intense, this would explain why he has problems with headaches or concerns with the knees, the teeth, the bones, especially more to the right side of his body than the left side of his body. It also tells me that he's definitely dated older women, may have married an older woman or fantasized about an older woman or stuff like that. It's always been for a guy.
Got a spot on. Wow.
So, and on, man. I mean, this is fascinating. I could keep
really
you up
is.
all night running my mouth about numbers.
Listen,
okay?
I got to get your book for my wife, because she's like the numerologist in the family. This will help her get some good understanding about how numbers work, and just propel her, I think, in where she's going.
Well, if people want some brownie points from the missus when things are tight, you know, schedule her as a little gift. I'll spend a mini reading. I'll 10 to 15 minutes reading the wife, okay? Then she owes you, all right?
Okay.
So when you need that apple pie.
Yeah, I got you. I got
you. I got you talking Strayhorn, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Gonna get a book for you too, boo.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah. So she gonna owe you.
Sure. That's good. Well,
yeah.
Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn, we are very pleased to have had you on Freedom Truth Radio. Like I said, this will not be the last time. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of the show. And I posted your book and website in the chat room so people can go to it. And I believe.
You. Oh, and by the way, with permission, can I give out my toll-free number in case people want to call and
I'll post that right now.
My toll-free number is 1-800-581-4401. That's 1-800-581-4401. Of course, my website is Lloyd-Strayhorn, and my best-selling book is Numbers in You. And they can also go to Amazon.com to see the rest of the books that I wrote. I wrote 3 books 2 years ago. So anyway, I'm going to write some more books. But, man, I really enjoyed running my mouth, Vincent Scott.
I loved it. It was great.
You want me back?
Absolutely.
Or you got to just give me the high sign, buddy.
I sure will.
It's done deal. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much. You have a good night.
Blessed. Staff be blessed. All your family be blessed. Your children and everything. And say hi to the missus. That's how you stay on the good side. My mother told me
sure will.
A happy woman makes a happy guy. I didn't get it at first, but I get it now.
Get it now. That's good.
Take good care, buddy.
All right.
Thanks so much, man.
Sure.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lloyd Strayhorn was a phenomenal guest. So glad we had him on the radio tonight. And like I said, he will be back to join us again. My mind is absolutely blown, man. I'm serious, because numbers are so phenomenal, and he went into some stuff that we never had a conversation about this before, other than me booking him on the show. So for him to be able to pick stuff out like that just from numbers is phenomenal to me. Definitely go to his website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, and check out his book. Go over there and get yourself a reading. He does readings. He also does a class, I believe. The site is called Learn with Lloyd. That link is actually on his website, so you can take a class in numerology that he does. Other than that, you can check out his toll-free number, 1-800-581-4401. 1-800-581-4401. Go on over there and find out some things about yourself, your family, and relationships, and learn how to interact. And you can help yourself be more successful, because this is the kind of science that the billionaires and the millionaires use. You think they read self-help books on how to be a millionaire? No, they use an actual noted science, astronumerology, and this is how they become successful on the markets and make successful business deals. They are looking at the numbers. People lie, but numbers don't. Thank you for joining us tonight on Freedom Truth Radio Show. We'll be back with you next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about sovereignty and how you can help yourself free yourself out of the system, and not just with the foolish paperwork, but to know the objects of law, and also to know how to relinquish all your corporate contracts so you can free yourself from being a slave with the number. So listen in next week. Tune in next week, 9:40 p.m. on Freedom Truth Radio Show. Also, Freedom Truth Radio Show is on Facebook, and you can also catch us live on HamiltonRadio.net and YouTube at Hamilton Radio 1. So look for us next week. We'll look forward to having you. Look forward to you joining us. Thank you for listening tonight. We're signing off. Good night.